Greetings everyone. Welcome to School of Consciousness. This is Bindu Bodanapu. Today I'm bringing you a wonderful chapter from the book Think Yourself Rich by Anthony Norval. How to build a $1,000,000 consciousness for personal wealth. You can magnetize your higher mind centers with $1,000,000 consciousness and begin to instantly feel, think, look, and live like a millionaire. It is in the mental realm that you first must begin to think you are going to be a millionaire. In the realm of the mind, all things are possible. Mental concepts have always preceded physical action and material achievement. It was in his mind that man first visualized himself flying like a bird. Realization of this dream came later. He had built the consciousness that he could fly. In back of every great fortune, there is a $1,000,000 consciousness first. Every person who became a millionaire first had to think in terms of big money and success. A limited consciousness brings a limited income. When you expand your mind and visualize new money horizons, you will soon be thinking like a successful and rich person. In this chapter, today we are going to study the techniques for building $1,000,000 consciousness so that you can begin instantly to think, talk, look, and act like you already have the $1,000,000 fortune you are projecting. Regimen to build the $1,000,000 consciousness. Number 1. To imprint the idea of infinite riches on your higher consciousness, take the Millionaire's secret vow of riches. Every person who achieves a big fortune has made a secret pact with his higher subconscious mind. Sometimes it is no more than just a mental determination to be rich and successful. Sometimes it is more clearly and deliberately stated in written or spoken form and becomes a dynamic command to the subconscious mind to build a fortune. The Millionaire's secret vow of riches. Repeat the following secret vow of riches every day for the next month until it becomes so firmly engraved on your subconscious mind that it is an automatic part of your mental and physical reflex action. I now take the Millionaire's vow for riches. I recognize that there are infinite treasures in the cosmic cornucopia of riches and abundance. I draw upon the unlimited resources of the universe for my own enrichment. I desire unlimited supplies of money and material goods so that I can use my riches to help my family and to give something of value to the world. I recognize that I am only a channel for the release of God's treasures for the enrichment of the world. I therefore vow that I shall do only good with my fortune. I take an oath that I shall use money to help uplift those who are downtrodden, to liberate those imprisoned by poverty, to idolize the standards of the world, to strive to help children, the sick, the poor, the imprisoned, the blind and crippled, so they may grow with greater joy. I shall use my money and earthly treasures to educate, inspire, and uplift humanity, to help bring peace to the world, to banish discrimination and racial prejudice, to bring all about equality for all, and to use my supply and abundance for the good of humanity and the greater glory of God. When you once involve the thoughts of riches in your subconscious mind, it begins to evolve the methods for you to achieve the fortune you desire. A man who married when he was 24 was so poor that he didn't have money to buy an engagement ring. On the day of his wedding, he gave his wife a check made out for the date 25 years from the day for 25,000. He told his wife to cash the check on that future date. Both of them forgot this beautiful wedding ring from a loving but poor husband. Had the man's subconscious mind did not forget this vow for riches that was prompted by his loving heart. Exactly 25 years later, this man was a millionaire, and one day his wife ran across the check, and on their 25th wedding anniversary, she cashed it without question or doubt that it would be good. Such is the power of your higher mind when you program it with the $1,000,000 consciousness. It will set about automatically to bring you everything you involve in your higher mind centers. Another interesting example of how subconscious mind never forgets a vow for riches when it is sincerely made was that of another man who married a girl with no future prospects that he would ever be rich. However, he vowed to her that their wedding day that on their 10th anniversary he would present her with a special gift, a $10,000 string of real pearls. This man became a big business success on that period of time, and right on the schedule, he gave his wife a beautiful pearl necklace worth $10,000. Number 2. Create your own golden hall of fame where you can join the invisible brotherhood of rich, famous, and influential people. To do this, you obtain a scrapbook, the type you put snapshots in. Then cut out the magazines and newspapers, the pictures and names of people who are rich, famous, successful, or gifted in some special way. This Golden Hall of Fame can include movie stars, TV personalities, political figures, millionaires in industry, inventors, composers, great lawyers, doctors, explorers, writers, artists, space astronauts, sports stars, scientists, educators, religious leaders. In fact, any person you admire or that you wish to emulate and pattern your success after. A few of these famous people you might want to add in your Golden Hall of Fame might be Rockefeller, Howard Hughes, J. Paul Getty, Bing Crosby, W. Clement Stone, Churchill, the late Prime President Roosevelt, Muhammad Ali, or any other person you admire. If you do not have a photograph from the magazine or newspaper, just write down the person's name on the page. Then put your photograph on the same page with these famous and successful people. Each night, just before going to bed, look at yourself in the Golden Hall of Fame with these illustrious persons and give yourself the following subconscious programming for riches. I now elevate myself to the Golden Hall of Fame with the immortals, the rich, the successful, and I program my subconscious mind to make me worthy of a place alongside these illustrious people. I ask for the talents and the riches and recognition that these people have earned, and I promise myself that I shall strive to be worthy of the high goals and the riches that I ask for. I have confidence in my ability to raise to high places, and I now accept the glory and recognition that shall be mine. Number 3. Take an inventory of your present treasures. Realize that you may already be enjoying some things that all millionaires do not have now. You always cannot equate money with happiness. You may have the health, happiness, and peace of mind that is often denied to those who have millions. It is always good to take mental inventory of your present riches and to realize that you may already have treasures that money in itself cannot buy. In the past few years, 5 multimillionaires committed suicide. They had everything money could buy, but they were so miserable they could not face life. You can have millions and still be happy, but without millions, you should not be miserable. If you correctly inventory your present treasures, you will find you may have more than many millionaires. The $1,000,000 inventory should include A. Peace of mind. B. Good friends who like you for yourself, not your money. C. Good health mentally and physically without pain or anxiety about the future. D. Love, happiness, marriage, a family of your own. These are treasures money cannot buy. E. Creative work that you enjoy and which you do not just do for money but for satisfaction. F. Peace of soul with faith in God and spiritual security, which gives you the treasures of spirit and often denied to those who make money their God. To show you how millions of dollars do not always buy happiness, I once was in a barber shop when a very young man came in to have his hair cut. It was obvious he was very rich man. By the way, everyone bustled to wait on him. The manicurist rushed to his side. The shoe shine boy began to polish his shoes. The barber practically bowed as he began to give him a haircut and shave. The man had a big diamond stick pin in his tie, which was in the shape of a horseshoe. He wore a huge diamond ring on his finger. His clothes were tailor made and obviously expensive. He was one could see at a glance a big shot. When this man left the barber shop, he gave everyone a generous tip, and my barber turned to me and said, "Do you know who that man was?" I said, "No." "Who was he?" He replied, "That's one of the big racketeers in the city. He owns race horses, has beer trucks, number rackets, and everything you could name that is illegal. He's worth millions of dollars." Then he went on to tell me that the man suffered from high blood pressure, had recently had 2 severe heart attacks. His wife had just run off with a younger man, and his 6-year-old son had just been run over by a truck. Yes, you guessed it, by a beer truck. The barber went on to say, that man's money can buy him everything but love, peace of mind, health, happiness, and his son's life. I wanted to also add his money can buy him everything but heaven. Yes, you can have $1,000,000 and still be happy, but if you make money your God, you will probably lose out on the true spiritual, mental, and moral treasures of life. Number 4. Protect your image of the wealth you will one day have by now taking a mental inventory of all the things you want money for in the future. Your subconscious mind will be deeply impressed by such a survey of riches you hope to have and things you wish to do with your money. You can call this projection of future wealth. Your money blueprint for the future. Under this heading, list the things you want money for and the sums of money you feel you need for future security. Your list might look like the following, or you can make up one to suit your exact needs. A. I would like work in which I shall be able to make $15,000 a year to meet my future needs. B. I would like to be in my own business making $50,000 or more a year. Here, try to be specific, telling your subconscious mind if you want a restaurant, a beauty shop, a health food store, a machine shop, a garage, an interior decorating business, a photographic studio, or some kind of business where you give service to public such as accounting, repair machines, income tax returns, health services, or any other special type of service. C. I would like to buy a new car for the following make, model, and color. Here, describe the type of car you desire and approximate cost. Do not be ashamed to buy a second-hand car if your pocketbook is not overflowing with money at present, for this is a beginning and later it can be turned on a new car. I know a very wealthy man and his wife could afford to buy a new car every year, but for 25 years he told me he has bought a second hand car, about 50,000 miles on it. He was told by a good mechanic that Cadillac is just about broken in and that time is a very much better buy than a new car. He kept the car an average of 5 years and then returns it to another one, thus keeping up on the modern mechanical improvements. D. I want to buy a home for my own in which to bring up my family and give them comfort and security. I want the house to be located in the country. Here, it is important to state the location you want, the style of architecture, the number of rooms, and other details about its furnishing. It is also important to pick the class of house you want. If it is to be a small cottage, obviously your money requirements will be more reasonable than if it is to be a mansion. It is important that you let your subconscious mind know what you expect, for it must prepare itself to reveal the methods by which you can make larger sums to pay the bigger house. For example, a man and his wife in California came into our work and learned about subconscious money programming. They were married and they had two children when I met them, but the man was working on a salary in a leather store where he was a salesman and made good commission. However, they could never look forward to big sums of money nor a big house. This man has been reared in Texas, and his father had a leather goods shop where he manufactured handmade wallets, handbags for women, makeup kits, and even fancy cowboy boots. When he told me his big ambition, I quoted the Bible and said, "What hast thou in thine house?" He replied, "I am good in making leather objects." Then he showed me a handmade leather wallet made of ostrich skin, which he had created. It cost him only the price of the leather, and it was easily worth $150 on the market. He said, "But I don't have the money to open a shop." He then told me he had leather sewing machine in his home. So I told him, "Why don't you begin with what you have now and take orders for wallets, boots, handbags from your friends and do the work in your spare time in your own apartment. He had not thought of that, but he decided he would begin the following week. He had cards made up telling his specialty in his handmade leather goods and featuring a pair of cowboy boots in color on the front of his card. He later told me the astounding story of how his subconscious mind shaped his entire money making desires into a practical idea to instantly bring him bigger income. A friend of his, from whom he made a pocketbook for free, received one of his cards. He worked in studios as a carpenter, and it just happened that he had met one of his cowboy stars at that particular studio. This man was always buying new boots, holsters, saddles, and other leather goods for his work. One day he called up this leather worker and ordered half a dozen pair of boots, a new holster, and other equipment including suit jacket for his wife. The uphold of this was the movie star was so impressed by this man's work, and then he offered to back him with his own shop and told him to pay the money back when he has earned it. If he lost, he would take it off on his taxes. With this big loan, the man from Texas opened a small leather business, hired 3 assistants, and with his connection with the studio already formed, other cowboy stars, recording artists, and public began to patronize his business. Now, exactly 3 years later, this man has one of the most successful leather business manufacturing business on the West Coast. He repaid the movie star's loan, but a big down payment on his dream house out in San Francisco Village and his own mansion for his first $1 million. E. I want the sum of $100,000 for future overall security so I may have the leisure to travel, to advance my cultural interests, and to give my children the higher education. This greater overall statement can include specific things you want in life and will require large sums of money. If you know these things and write them down on your future money inventory, they will be caught up in the automatic process of your computer like subconscious mind and be more likely to evolve. If you do not have any such specific goals or sums of money, you will never receive subconscious guidance to the achievement of your higher money goals. A woman in California used this method to program her subconscious mind that she wanted the sum of $1,000 for a specific immediate need. She had 2 children, a boy of 17 and a girl of 19. She wanted them to have a trip to Hawaii during their summer vacation. She and her husband has been to Hawaii on their honeymoon, and she wanted her children to share in that wonderful trip so they would have beautiful memories for the future. Within 1 month, her husband received $2,000 bonus for a big deal he had put over for his firm, and the entire family went on Hawaii for their vacation. If this woman and her husband did not project their extra sums of money, he might not have had the inspiration to get the big deal. Very often, it takes such an emotional motivation desire to prod the subconscious mind to make extra effort, which can bring additional sums of money for specific purposes. F. Carry at all times in your pocketbook a check made out to yourself of $1 million. Sign the check. God, the universal banker. Look at the check at least 3 times a day and begin to imprint in your subconscious mind the following programming. I now possess $1 million or more in cashable assets. The resources of the universe are mine, as well as anyone else. The gold, silver, oil, iron, uranium, and all those products of earth, including agriculture ones, are mine. I possess the free parks, the museums, art galleries, public libraries, and theaters. I own the subway and the bus station and all other transportation. I possess the millions of dollars worth of entertainment on radio and television, which I may have every day on my life. I now claim my divine inheritance and realize that now, in this moment, I have more than $1 million in assets which I may use and enjoy freely. G. Form a treasure chest in which you magnetize the elements you desire in jewels, stocks, deeds to property, and other riches you may want your subconscious mind to program for your future. For this purpose, obtain a small box such as a man uses in cufflink box or a lady uses for a jewel box. Label this box my treasure chest. Then put in the following items. If you do not have the real articles, an imitation will do. A small piece of gold or silver and a bag of colored glass to stimulate a diamond, pearl, ruby, emerald, or any other precious stone. Write down on small sheets of paper the deed to my new dream home. On other sheet write 1,000 shares of General Motors or some other stock you will find listed in the financial papers of the newspaper. Then take 10 pieces of paper and cut them the sizes and shape of money and put them in 4 corners of each paper of $10,000. These 10 sheets now number up to $100,000. You can count these over each night before going to bed, visualizing them as being real money and daydreaming on how you will spend this money. If you wish to build a $1 million consciousness, you can use the treasure chest principle by cutting out 10 sheets of paper and numbering them in the 4 corners with the figures of 100,000. These 10 sheets now add up to 1 million. To treat your subconscious mind to the perpetual money feast, make it a point to look at your treasures every day at least once, preferably just before going to bed. Your subconscious mind will be deeply impressed by these objects, and you will be magnetizing your brain centers to respond with money making ideas that will soon start the flow of money, goods, and precious gifts into your life. A young lady who used this method to bring her money or its equivalent had always wanted a big diamond ring. She was engaged at the time she learned about this method of subconscious mind programming, but her fiancé did not have the money to buy her big engagement ring. She began her treasure chest and put it in the dream home for the future and a piece of glass which she mentally labeled as a diamond. Within 1 week, her future mother in law called her on the telephone and told her she wanted to see her. When the girl arrived home, the woman took a small jewel case and said, "I don't know why, But yesterday something made me to go to my safety deposit box at the bank and take out this jewel which my husband gave me 30 years ago. When he died, I put it in the vault and have never worn it since. The woman opened the little jewel box and there was a magnificent big blue diamond ring. She said, "Here, I want you to have it." Later, this same girl, after she has married, received as a gift from her mother in law a string of real pearls, a ruby ring, a diamond, and a sapphire pin, and other trinkets that were given to her as gifts. Her subconscious mind somehow sent out cosmic commands to the only source from which she receives these treasures she mentally programmed. H. Create your scrapbook of destiny to build $1 million consciousness. Take an extraordinary scrapbook and paste it into newspapers or magazines or houses, furs, furnishing, or any other objects that you might want to attract. Besides actual pictures of objects, you may also put into your scrapbook any articles dealing with the lives of wealthy persons, their methods of building their fortunes, and items from financial papers of newspapers about stock market or any other big business. Let these financial items furnish your subconscious mind with the consciousness of big money and the methods that wealthy and successful people have used to build their personal fortunes. Whatever you want to build a bigger money consciousness, glance through your money scrapbook and read the various stories how millionaires have built their fortunes. Then let the information sink into your subconscious mind. Later, you will be automatically guided to take steps that cause you to attract money or big businesses ideas that can make you rich. Points to remember. You can magnetize your brain centers and begin to think like and act like a millionaire, giving your benefit of riches even before you have million. The millionaire secret wow of riches can instantly put you into millionaire's class and build the consciousness of unlimited wealth. A young man who took his vow for wealth was able to give his wife a check of $25,000 to cash 25 years later. By that time, his subconscious mind has made him rich. Put yourself into Millionaire's Golden Hall of Fame and begin at once to feel like millionaire. Take a mental inventory of your present riches and begin to enjoy these treasures which make millionaires might not even possess. Your $1 million inventory should include friends, good health, love, happiness, creative work, mental peace, and spiritual serenity. Build your money blueprint for the future and program in your subconscious mind with big money ideas, a business of your own, a beautiful car, your dream home, and money which you can travel, afford luxuries, and educate your future children. A man who wanted to be in his own business used Bible injunction to program his subconscious mind. One woman programmed a trip to Hawaii for her vacation and her husband received a bonus of $2,000 which made this possible. Program your subconscious mind by carrying a check made out to yourself of $1 million and by building money awareness. Use the treasure chest to plant in your subconscious mind gifts of jewels a home of your own, and other precious objects. Start the perpetual flow of money by cutting out pieces of paper and labeling them 10,000 each until you have built a consciousness of 100,000 to $1 million. One young lady wanted a big diamond engagement ring, but her boyfriend could not afford it. She got the big ring within 1 week from the time she programmed her subconscious. Build your money scrapbook of destiny to chart your destiny for attracting houses, lands, cars, jewels, stocks, and any other things that you value and desire. This is a wonderful way to build a $1 million consciousness. Thank you for listening, and I hope you would practice all these techniques taught in this chapter to build a $1 million consciousness. Welcome to School of Consciousness. Thank you for listening.